so we're going live. We should be having it here. Save. We should be good. I'm gonna go ahead and click this button here real quick. Let me get going here. Come on, stream. I know you're live. You just gotta actually. There we go. Okay, we're good. I don't know why it takes so long to do that from time to time, but it sure does. So, here's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna make this big hole. So what's going on is, basically, if you're new here, I'm trying to get some oil right now so that we can go back to this planet and I can use the oil to get steel, which I know is not a real direct conversion, but trust me, that's how it works. And once it goes down and we get some steel, we're gonna go down into this hot zone right here, which will allow me, one, to cool the water from the saltwater geyser so that it does not melt my entire base with heat death, and two, I can actually go in here and check out all these squid dudes. So, ooh, they do glow. I had not seen that. Now, I don't know what happened to this dude, but he's hurt. So, I don't know how to get down in there safely either. I imagine it's not going to be the greatest thing for my health, but I also want to figure out what these geysers are, because I do need to get some more natural resource management at the moment. This planet's doing okay, but it's not going to be any power system like maniac that I'm going to need to be able to cool all this stuff. So we're going to have to figure something out for that, or make a whole bunch of these tidal turbines, which don't always work. So anyway, the reason we need to get the oil though, one step at a time. Oh, we have 2 exosuits now. But the reason we need, sorry, Atmos suits. But the reason we need 2 of these to get steel here is because we need to make the steam turbine loop, which is basically the core fundament of how this game has been working for ages now. And it essentially lets me put a steam turbine on top of a 5x2 pit that you stick a whole bunch of thermal aqua tuners in. So basically, these are thermal aqua tuners, right? Let me just go build one over here somewhere so you can see what I'm talking about. So you would pop that thing in there like that, with another one next to it, and some ladders, like this. And then you would surround this thing in some kind of tile. Usually I like using the insulated ones because it's stupid hot. So then you would just, you know, you would just do it like this. Sorry, I missed. And then you would put a insulated door right there. Like that. And then you put a steam turbine, which I don't think I can make right now. Nope. But trust me, you would put a steam turbine right there. And then it essentially pulls the, it would be about that size right here. It pulls all of the steam that will be inside this box that gets created because these things output a crazy amount of heat. And it would suck it up through the steam turbine. And then the steam turbine would have an output right here that you would then dump condensed water, basically, right back out into the same pit. So you essentially loop steam. Steam gets drawn up into this invisible steam turbine, and then gets dumped right back down into the pit. The net result is that it cools this box right here. So then you use the output of these guys, because the fluid going into these gets cooled by 25 degrees Fahrenheit, and then out. And I'm going to loop it right back into this one and back out using some complicated bits I'll explain in a little while. So this is essentially 50 degrees colder Fahrenheit than what it was before. So, roughly speaking. So then you loop that up here and you essentially cool the steam turbine itself, because it's not 100% efficient as far as like the heat conversion goes. So it you'd essentially have a bunch of wiggly pipes that look something like this. And these are thermal transfer pipes, basically, that allow you to get a lot of heat in or out of the fluid inside the pipe compared to the ambient outside the pipe. So then you would essentially cool this, because this is going to be colder than the surrounding area every time it passes through both these things. So you cool the room that the turbine is in, which allows it to keep running, and then you take whatever comes off the end of this over to wherever to cool something else. In this case, it's going to be a giant oil refinery right here, to make sure that everything over there stays cold as well. and it runs indefinitely as long as you have enough juice, meaning electricity, to actually run both these aqua tuners, because they take 1,200 watts for an aqua tuner, which is a lot. Because if you go look at the power generation, an entire petroleum generator only produces, what is it? I think 2,000? Yeah, it produces 2 kilowatts, so 2,000 watts of power. So you would need 2 petroleum generators just to run that setup, let alone the entirety of the rest of your base. So I end up usually making 3 petroleum generators, sticking them way up here somewhere, like that, for example, and then just letting the carbon go into space in some fancy ways, because it's so much carbon dioxide. But to get there, I have to get steel, because I can't make any of that happen unless I actually have steel, because nothing else in the early game of oxygen included, at least that I know of, will sustain the heat that is going to be generated inside the thermal aqua tuner box. So, yeah, I need the steel to make the steel to get the petroleum to power the thing that makes the steel. So, you know, it's it's a bit of a mess. So yeah, we're gonna take care of that today. That's the plan anyway. And I'm also gonna go over here and check out what that is. I'm debating whether or not I want to poke a hole in this to do that, or if I want to just go down from the top. I'm thinking I'm gonna wall this off, and we're gonna go down from the top side. So let me just do it like that. And we'll go in from the top up here. That way I don't have to, like, worry so much about it. Okay, then we'll kind of do that number, and we'll poke a hole in it and see what it is. Ooh, there's a little bit of iron down there, like raw, regular iron, not like the ore. That's interesting. I hardly ever see that. Okay. The good news is the bottom of this is not filled with magma, so we can actually use this as kind of a heat sink for a little while. It's enough to get me through. Now. Also, that's gonna go. Can we get rid of that? I think they can reach that. They definitely cannot reach that one. Okay, power struggle is a major issue, but don't worry, that's not going to last forever. Power situation will not last forever. Okay. Also, I should absolutely be using these guys. I haven't been, but I should be using those guys. So the analysis for that has been completed. I'm debating whether or not I want to open this right now. The liquid sulfur geyser is going to be a bit of a problem. I think what I'm going to do is we're going to wall this side off. I'm actually going to make that like this. And then down here we'll have it do all those bits. Leave myself a pretty wide gap over here for it. And then I'm hoping that, ooh, that is unfortunate. Okay, well, I'm not busting that containment, so we're gonna do it like that. That will work. I'm actually gonna scoot that over one more time. Okay, so then 1, 2, 3. They're gonna need a way to get to that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. Then I could put a gas pump made out of iron to there with just some general piping. For now, just to kind of get it out of there. But I'm not gonna bother with any of. Actually, I need it anyway. I do need it anyway. We'll do it like this. And I just want to make sure that I have the heavy watt wire already put in there a little bit. So we're just going to do this. And that. Kind of a shame that I waste all these power cables. So I'm just going to do this real quick. That way we save a little bit of metal. Followed by that. Perfect. Now, that whenever that gets hooked up to the actual power grid up there, we'll be just fine. Then I'm gonna go ahead and build this stuff, because I already have a dump pipe, like right above it. So all I gotta do is put it into here, right? Yes. We're gonna max that construction out right there. That should be fine. Why is this here? Do not dig up the plant. I'm so glad they added that. You can't see it because it's kind of behind my head there. But basically there's a filter now. Give me a second, I'll go get that sorted out so you can see it. Basically there's a filter like right here next to my head that allows me to choose whether I want to use tiles, natural back walls, or plants. So you can actually like filter out what you want to dig up. And that's incredible. I've been tired of that problem for a long, long time. So, let's see how it goes here. Now, cook. I do need to cook, right? And that's a terrible, well, not terrible actually, but not the best guy for rocketry. Not the way I'm going to run it, at least. So, I don't really need anything. I already got a really good guy who's a radiation eater for rocketry anyway. So, I think I'm going to go Freya here. Let me make sure I don't have a cook on this planet. Because I got one on that planet, but not on this one, and we really need one, so I'm going to go ahead and get the cook. Alright, Freya, you're going to be called, I'm going to call her Roxanne. I'm going to have that song stuck in my head for a long time. You know the one. It's right in the title. Yeah. Let's go with that one. Okay, Roxanne, where's your... Here you are. You're going to be a grill person, and then we're going to go down here on the list and tell you to start cooking. Oh, we got to tell everybody else to not cook, if there is anybody cooking. There is nobody cooking. Alright, well, your job is very clear then, isn't it? So now we need to have another row of beds, which is unfortunate. Alright, so we're going to move these to here. Oops. Okay. I'll leave that abyssal light alone. I really don't like this door, if I'm being honest with you. Eventually I might decorate those differently than the others, but you know, not for now. Okay, then what we're gonna do is just pop a ladder down right there, and there, there, and there, just so they can actually build the tiles in the ceiling. Then we should be good to go. But those are not priority right now. I need this hole to get dug. And I mean, he's putting in good work. I mean, it's generally working for us. I mean, I can't be too mad about that. So now let me get in here. We're going to cause myself a problem later here real quick. We're going to see how that goes for me. So, essentially what needs to happen here is I need to get into the refinement process to grab the... Hold on, let me make sure this mic's actually turned towards me. To grab, because that's not quite getting the loudness that I was hoping for. There we go. So, let me get, is it still not working quite right? No, we're good, right? It's totally fine. Perfect, perfect. I need to wear a different color shirt for this save, because if I go up here, like, it looks fine. But at the moment I go down into the bottom of the map, I just kind of disappear down here, don't I? Alright, well, that is a problem for a later stream. So anyway, what was it? Oh, refinement. For, I think it's actually under utility. It is under utilities. I'm gonna make these out of lead for now. The oil wells here. Because I can. And it won't last me forever. They will eventually melt, but as long as I know that and I've got some resources like in the works, like steel, then it shouldn't be a massive issue. Because we only need these things to run just long enough that I can get the oil with which to make steel, which I already kind of have right there, so it's not like a huge ordeal. Also, I didn't know that that one existed on top of this. I thought there was only one geyser down here, so we might be causing myself a massive headache with that one. But you know, it is what it is. And that's a liquid sulfur geyser, we know that, so let's just go ahead and, you know, get that over with. Open that thing up. Now, while they're building that, I'm going to go ahead and start setting this thing up. And I want it relatively high. Like away from the oil. Because the oil is the stuff that's stupid hot. And it's easier to cool if it's that high. So I think I'm going to build my cooling thing right there. In that cubby. It just makes sense for it to be right there. So I'm going to reserve all of this space underneath it. Specifically for that. So let me actually cancel, no, go ahead and let him do this. But what I need to do is build the top layer. So the very top of that thing, I want 4 tiles. Is going to be here. The 4th tile is just a buffer, because I always need one. And then this is going to be the edge where the door is. So we're going to put a door there. Followed by 5 tiles. Like this, and I'm going to put the door on the back side, away from the entrance. Like this. Okay, followed by the liquid pipe, which I'm just going to make out of iron. It should be fine if I make it out of that, ideally. Then we're just going to go up to there. Now for these pipes, they're actually going to be made out of lead. And they should be fine as lead as well, which is cool. Now, which way do I want this thing to go? I think I want the output to be on this side and the input to be on the right side. That makes the most sense to me. So this is already in a bad location, which is why we do this ahead of time. Because you see here what I mean. I need this to clear that. So I'm like 1 tile short. So I gotta move this thing somehow. And I'm just gonna move it up a tile, I think. That's how we're gonna solve the problem. So just cancel everything in here. It's a shame that that doesn't line up. That'd be really nice if it did that. I'm gonna do it anyway. I think I can get everything to fit in those 3 tiles. As long as we're good. Yeah, we are good. It's definitely going to be a tight fit, but I think it's going to work. So let's just go ahead and do it like that. Cancel those bits. And I'm just going to go ahead and run that over just so I have a little bit more floor space right there. So this area right here next to that's going to be where I do the plastic, I think. As well as, like, hold on, let me go. Do I already have those in there? I do. So we'll do like the polymer press situation there somewhere. Those are temporary placements. As well as I don't have a glass forge. Well, the glass forge will be below that. It'll go underneath it. So basically I need this to be as tall as I can. I do want to make sure that I have an emergency situation going on here. So like, so you can't build there, but you can there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and reserve that space above it. This will then be access, basically. Like that. And then what I'm going to do is just dump the water from this Ooh, is this gonna be wide enough? Is it gonna be wide enough? Because, like, that's gonna be a wall. Like that. Man, I don't know if that's gonna work or not. I'm gonna move that ladder over once, just to make sure. We're just gonna make sure that everything fits. I like that. And then we'll just cancel this wall right here. I really just want to make sure that I've got enough space, and it's really complicated what I'm trying to talk about here, but basically, I'm trying to figure out if I can, like, auto-sweep this and everything else to get it out of there, and there's a lot of planning ahead of time going on right now. The good news is oxygen is officially caught up, so these guys should be doing their job, but, you know, they're not. So I'm also going to prioritize literally everything in here, especially the digging bits, to 6, so that they will focus on this. Set these ones to 5. Then go over here to the construction tab, do the exact same thing. Everything in here needs to be priority 6. Except for that stuff, which is 5. Like, I really need them to build this. It's very important while we have the food. Okay. That's nice. I'll take an elegant hanging pot. Why not? Deconstruct these 2 things here. Now, I think what I'm going to do... Firstly, I need to get my natural gas situation sorted out here. So I need to have natural gas scooper down here. I also need to put this down here somewhere. I'm going to put it right there. I'm making that one. Go. Oh, that's a problem. Let's move it over 1. We'll solve that. Is that thing... That is. So we'll just do it like that. Man, that is just really inconvenient the way that is right there. No, it's not. We can do it like that. And then split it. Perfect. We're good. So off it goes. If that starts causing me problems, then we'll worry about it. I am going to go from right there forward. We are going to make it the good pipe. Because I am not dealing with that. That sucks. So put it into there. I'm just going to run that one for now. It should be enough. But later we're going to have to figure out how to get all of these. So I think I'm going to do it like this instead. Actually, I need to reserve that space for all the bit that's going to get cooled. So we will go underneath of this. And do it like that. Slight bit of waste, but it is what it is. Because that essentially allows me to solve all the problems that I'm going to be having with that thing. Well worth it. I think I'm just going to run that one straight into it. So the last one should be up there. So let me just run that up to it. Okay. We should be good with that. Barbecue, baby. We already got a guy who does all this stuff, so we're good there. I should get a second one, but I don't like... I used to really like stress reaction vomiter duplicants because, you know, you just got free water if they got super stressed, so like there was no real major downfall to that. But eventually it turned into an actual serious problem because now they lose a ridiculous amount of calories when they vomit, which is not great because they will do it until the point they starve to death. So they'll just, one day they're just a little, they got a little munchies going on, you know? Like, oh, you know, I could use something to eat. And then they start freaking out because they got overly stressed and they vomit, and then there's nothing in them, so they straight up die. It's a problem in this game. So, is what it is. Also, we're going to need to do the conductive wire trick, but I don't have steel with which to pull that off at the moment. We're going to have to sort that out later. So, for now, we're going to have to go grab a ridiculous amount of iron ore and get to at least that one. I don't have the iron ore with which to get to the rest of these at the moment, but we'll go ahead and let them, you know, get that rolling. I need to get over here so I can mine all this iron ore out and whatnot. But they'll get there in due time. Okay. Oh, and real quick, I need to plan this out. So we're going to do that. I just want to make sure that I have like I have those set up properly. Otherwise, it's a pain in the butt to do later. Okay. The reason is when you switch pipes from like a radiant pipe to an insulated pipe like this, sorry that keeps flashing. It when you go from a radiant pipe like this to an insulated pipe like this, it screws it up because it thinks you want to replace the piping type. Like for example, this one's already built, this purple one. If I grabbed a different kind and put it in there, see how it tries to replace it? But if I wanted to connect this one to that, it replaces the thing. And I don't want it to do that. I want it to be like this, where this one stays that, and that one is the one that gets replaced. So, you have to do that in the construction phase like this, otherwise it's really annoying to build. Because you have to build a pipe and then rebuild it. Somebody needs to build this. Oh, never mind. They did. That is priority 9 now. Because these knuckleheads have trapped themselves in a hole. As they always do. What is it about duplicates and getting themselves trapped in a hole? Like, what are you gonna do, man? Here, buy that out. Oh, you can't. No, this guy just took a dump inside his suit, which is, you know, not ideal for him. Sucks, buddy. Shouldn't have trapped yourself in a hole. Alright, look. What do you guys gotta build this? I don't care who it is. Somebody's gotta do it. Alright? Like, you gotta go save your friend. Man, you are slow, Roxanne. Like, I get it. You're a new duplicate and all, but... these guys are gonna suffocate. If we aren't careful. Any time of the year here, Roxanne, it would be great for you if you could... oh, I mean, you're working right through the night. I gotta give you credit for that. Alright, get out. Be gone. There we go. At least that's why I built this, by the way, because when they soil the suit, they come up here and it drops their dirtiness that was inside the suit out of the suit to here, where that polluted water is right there. So then this pump immediately scoops it up and sends it over to here where it can be used by the base instead of just flooding all my floors all the time. This also works as a catch basin for the entire base. So if like this gets a hole in it, or this water gets out, or you know, any myriad of reasons why you would end up with a bunch of water at the bottom of your base, which is rather likely, this thing scoops it up and puts it other places, basically. What I am going to do, though, is dump this Peku fry into this pit over here where the good water is. If I have somebody that can actually scoop that up. Question. Okay. Man, this guy's really flying on the stuff he's mining out, though, isn't he? Like, what a guy. Just want to make sure that's all the same priority. There we go. I think they just added the ability to separate the priorities of what is dug as compared to what is built. And I don't know if I like that or not. And what I mean is, it used to be, if you were in the construction tab, and I set this to be priority 8, right there. then the same thing on the digging tab would be priority 8. But now it doesn't even show up. Which is confusing. So what was going on over here with it? See, those are doubled up. I don't know. Maybe the dig order was in there before the ladder was, and that kind of confuses the game. Anyway, so. Whatever. Also, this gotta go. So we're gonna have to do this whole number to get to it. Or I could just brute force that one. And we could just, you know, deal with it later on, but I don't really need in that zone. It's just that thing is going to get completely full of zombie spores. It's already too late. Never mind. That thing's going to get up to a few million zombie spores per tile, so we're cooked. That box is probably never going to get opened. And if I have to open it one day, we'll figure something out. That guy's got to go. Like, immediately. Actually, you know what? I got a perfect spot for that guy. If he can survive how cold it is by just dumping him in there. So we're getting somewhere. The hole's dug, and that is a hydrogen vent. That needs analyzed immediately. How hot is it? How hot are we looking? That is too hot. That is way too hot. We're only allowing people in the bottom of this. That's really going to limit the amount of oil that I can have. We are going to go into the top. I'm going to hate myself for that, but it is what it is. Because, let me tell you, dude, that is too hot. I could try to deal with that, but it would never work. It'd be miserable the whole time you're doing it. So let me just get rid of those, mine that out. Because I need to put a gas pump in there, but I have nothing that will survive that heat. I'm so glad that thing is dormant. So we were correct, that is a hydrogen geyser. I'm pretty sure I guessed that one before. I still don't know what this one is, though. I'd like to know. That's only a 2-block tall geyser, and that has me minorly concerned that it's going to be a sulfur geyser, but, you know. Because these oil wells don't ever spawn underground, I don't think. Really? There we go. Now, what we can put in here is one of these. Because I need that thing under vacuum ASAP. I mean, as fast as I can actually get that thing in there. So, the sedimentary rock is fine for down here. We're just going to do this. That's going to be trash. Up to about there. And then we're going to start using the insulated ones with the igneous rock. Do I already have a trash pipe? I do. We need to reinforce this trash pipe with all of the insulated bits so it does not overheat the whole base promptly. And then we will be good to go. Okay. This guy's an idiot. We need to have that built immediately. Perfect. Yeah, can somebody come save Cameron so he can actually do his job? That'd be a great idea. Thanks, brother. Alright. We're also going to need to sweep all that out of there, so we're going to put a random couple of these guys up here. Which I'm actually going to make these ones, so I really notice them. forgot the construction thing wasn't on open. Just cancel that. Well, that is unfortunate. Oil's gonna have to run right across the top of this thing. Unless I do it like this. Not anymore. That oil is gonna go over there and go down. I'm actually gonna make that too taller. So then we'll just cancel all these. I'll go ahead and mine. You know what? I'm good with that not being there. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that piece. So that'll shape things up quite nicely so that I can have a nice pit here. It's still pretty wide, but the oil does not go in it, which is critical. Okay, so let me... Ooh, we can get knits? I'll make a knit farm on this planet. I'm a plant short, but... it's still having a rough go at it. We're gonna have to, Man, dude, this is... we're back to square one on this one, aren't we? Because, like, I had this problem solved, and then suddenly, is what it is. There we go. It's coming back around. Alright, cool. We're good. Now, the stream's gonna buffer for a little while, but it should catch back up here in just a minute. So I'm just gonna keep rolling. There it goes. We're in business. Now, where were we? Right. I was cleaning all this up because for some reason everybody made a mess and nobody's cleaning the toilets. So you know what that means? You guys don't need the toilets. We're gonna build you a nice actual toilet place somewhere. Where am I gonna put a toilet system at? Man, I really overlooked that one, didn't I? Alright, well, these are gonna have to move again. And we're gonna put them... I don't know. Just put them in there. Well, they don't fit. Man, where am I gonna put them? A bunch of beds. I'm not gonna use that space for a while. Just put some over there. That'll work. As long as I got 3 beds, I'm good. They don't really matter where they're at. So this is probably going to go away eventually as well. Because I really need a bathroom system set up here. And right above that, I'm going to go ahead and make the food hall as well. I'm going to move the kitchen, I think. Up to above that. I don't know if I want to do that or not, but I don't really want to build my... my farms can get cooled by this thing, and it'll be totally fine. So, it doesn't really matter if I build this stuff over top of that, because then I can move this down into there. Alright, problem solved. That's what we're doing. It's going to take them a while, but at least this way we can make something work more permanently. So I want this to be on the same level, so that's going to be where I build, for sure, that's going to be where I build the kitchen. Because that's where the power already is. So we need to get rid of this one. And I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that. We'll go up and down. Like that. And this will be where the kitchen goes. Good. You, sir, need to be up there. That thing is also dormant. I should prioritize making these. I'm not super worried about that one as much as I am this one. This thing is a problem. Like a huge problem for that thing to exist right there. I'm not even gonna risk running the regular power cables in there, like the big ones. We're gonna run the small ones in there because that thing is so hot. Until I figure out a good way to cool it with this or something, there's no way I'm ever getting anything out of there. I mean, it doesn't need to be like cold. It just needs to be not 900 degrees. You know, like that's the requirements aren't that stringent. Alright, now back to this other bit. What have we got going on here? So we don't have a person that can do the hard digging. Okay, well, everybody here seems to be pretty happy though. The place is surviving. We have way too much hydrogen now. What is up with that? Why is the hydrogen not... Oh, it is. It's just taking its sweet time with it. So I just need to build another one of those, is what you're saying. And put it, like, actually at the top of the base over here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put one, like, here. And then grab one of these guys. Boop. Followed by... some of that. And we're just gonna have them go up there and build this. There we go. Somebody really needs to do that. I can't believe that used to be completely underwater right there, because there were starnacles and whatnot here. Man, I've really cleared this place out, haven't I? We're gonna run out of water super fast on this planet. I really need to get that saltwater geyser to where it actually functions properly. Otherwise, we're gonna have some serious issues, but I've got some time on that, and I don't have time on other things. So, you know, priorities have to happen. Okay. Yeah, definitely. I have to prioritize getting steel, otherwise the whole place is cooked. Literally cooked. Holy moly! Holy mo... What is going on with this? Are you seeing this right now? What in the world is even that? Okay, hold on. Let me just drop that to like 10. Hey, do you drop meat if I eat you? Are you like something I... Yes. So, well, I got bad news for those guys. They are gonna die. So, I don't want to do that. I think I'm just gonna go to the other side of this. I'm gonna be like super lazy about this, and we're gonna do that. Perfect. Now, we only want like, what did I drop that other one to? 10? 10's like a crazy amount. So we're gonna pick up those 10 of them. And they're gonna start scooping all those dudes up. And then we're gonna have another fish release. Deconstruct this if you would. And if he gets out, great. So that guy, dead. man, dude, they are going nuts in there. Also, who's the rancher on this planet? You, Lizzie. You need to attack, and I'm pretty sure this guy, yes, also needs to attack. Cool. Kill him. Now, anyway, we're gonna go back into here and check this out. Sweep all. So they're gonna keep building that. I also need him to build. They haven't got rid of all this stuff yet, so we're good in that department. They probably won't until they get this running down here, which is fine by me, honestly. But I really need them to have a toilet because they're gonna kind of take dumps on the floors. So we're just gonna flood. I guess we're gonna do this. There you go. Outhouses for you. Wow, they already got all that basically done. Incredible work, actually. And just to make sure they don't go out there by accident. That don't need to be super important. Just, you know. Yo, can you, not die and go into there instead? Okay, they're eating. Everybody's happy. Now here's what we're gonna do. Firstly, we gotta figure out what in the world they're gonna do here. Is that oxygen right there? Like, that's great. But we got phosphorate for days because these guys keep eating it. You are a phosphorate farm, aren't you? No, you eat phosphorate, you make lime. What do these dudes take to make? They take that stuff, right? Which I still don't have a way to make. I've got no way to make it. When these guys die, do they make that stuff? Maybe they do and it just doesn't tell me, but... I have a feeling I'm gonna run out of that resource like super fast, so... Bloom squash. I have one already anyway, so I don't really know that I need it, but I don't need any of those other duplicates at the moment either, so bloom squash seed it is. This has got to be hydrogen gas. We got to go in here to get... Oh, do I not have one of those? Okay. So we're going to need an AND gate that goes there for the pressure. With an AND gate that's pink that goes here. And into there. There you go. Go crazy. And as soon as that gets built, if it is... Did you really just blue ball me like that? Come on. There we go. Above... We'll say 500. Because I really want that stuff out of the base. Like, promptly. The problem is we literally can't burn it fast enough, it seems. Or maybe we are. And that's just it. I do need to, like, actually contain this electrolyzer, so that's not a problem anymore. We'll have them build that. Do I want it near that steam vent? I think not. I think right here is probably... Well, that's going to have to be for farms, isn't it? Yeah, that's already the whole thing's already farms. We don't have a space for beds yet either, like proper beds. So we're going to have to move the med bay to get the space for the beds. We're probably going to have to move that to get the space for the beds. And that. I'm thinking about just deconstructing this entire half the base right now. I'm going to leave the toilets where they're at. They're in a good spot. But everything else is going to get moved around. Do I dare just do it? Well, I mean, I've got the food. Let's just do it. Screw it. And only buildings, but none of the pipes and whatnot, right? Yes. Go for it. Hopefully they don't get stuck somewhere. These can stay. We just get rid of all the rest of it. This always makes me nervous to do. Unfortunate. So these ones can all stay. This is gonna cause a mess. Is what it is. Okay, off it goes. We can get rid of this. Man, what are the odds of that happening right there? Anyway. Get rid of that. The good news is they still had some beds. I don't know what this guy's doing besides just standing here. Okay, there we go. The good news is the base is somewhat designed to handle that kind of water, so we should be alright in that regard. Oh, that door can actually stay put. Yeah, cancel that. Okay. Do I need 3 layers of beds? I don't know yet. We'll find out. That is just gonna have to go away. Sorry, bloater. You are gonna go into this pit over there. So how many dupes? I have 9. That's not going to be a full bedroom, nor is that, so we're going to need this 3rd layer. That sucks. Okay. This is what a base looks like that is actually running right looks like. Very, very nice. So those are all going to be bedrooms. What's going to happen there? It doesn't matter which side that water goes off of as long as it goes somewhere. So we can take care of that problem. We go back here and check this out. They're getting somewhere. That thing is now dormant. So we need to officially do this. They're going to hate this. Well, we're gonna wait until tomorrow to make them do that. Oxygen production can be over there, which means that's where the cold thing's gonna have to go. But I need the cold thing to be over here, so oxygen production's gonna have to be in that hole as we planned. Because the cold thing's got to be like right here. We got to keep this cool steam vent contained. It's the only way to do it. And being that that's just a steam vent, I'm fairly certain that I could just put a steam turbine on top of that. And it would also help quite drastically with getting it colder. It would at least get it down to like 200 something degrees. which is smoking hot. But at least it, you know, does something in there. I'm also going to let them in there so they can do the analysis of that thing. So, we'll go ahead and mop all this up. Now, we don't have a kitchen, so we do have to figure that out. But I have space to get more beds that direction. Like this, for example. And we're just going to rob some natural resources here real quick because we have to, is what it is. I need the space. It's unfortunate that there's only like a 1 block gap right there. Normally I'd like 2 so that you could at least get a dupe through there, but this thing's just in a bad spot, so. Like this end has 2, that's nice. Okay. So. Thinking about, it has to be that big, that's the problem. We're out of that bit, so we're just going to replace it with this. Beautiful. And that should give me a decent amount of goodies to work with there. Now, they should be able to get rid of the rest of this. You know, as they will. Oh, I did not realize that this is priority 9. That's why everybody was building so fast. I'll just let them sort it out now. They seem to have it taken care of, so. We're going to go ahead and build the kitchen right there. But I want to put the kitchen by the farms. Put the kitchen by the farms makes more sense. And the kitchen is going to be a source of a lot of heat, which this thing can also cool. I will put the kitchen... I'm going to leave myself one more 3-layer one. Right there. But after that point, I think we can make it work. Yeah, let's do it like that. So this will be a 3rd layer just for farms. If I need a small farm at some point, I want to be able to reserve that space. So then, I actually don't want anything going out that way. This will then be the 4-block tall kitchen. Right there. That one needs to be this, followed by that, which means this does not need to exist because, come on, I can do that and put this above it. Now the reason I want to do that is because I don't like having this here. It captures hydrogen gas, which is never good. I do not want anything in this base to capture hydrogen gas. So we're just going to have to get rid of it all. Okay, that takes care of all that problem. We'll take this out. I'll go ahead and start setting up a kitchen, which isn't going to take me too long because we already have the exact layout done. You always put the microbe musher by the door because when you need the microbe musher, you need it. Period. Followed by the grill because you use it quite a lot. The spice grinder can literally go out here in the end. Nobody cares about that thing. Followed by the smoker, which is going to go past the sushi thing, so I'm just going to put it there for now. Then I don't have... I do. So then this is just going to go out to the trash can, which is a shame, and I'm just throwing all that away, but it is what it is. So I need to get the sushi bar thing right there. Eventually this thing will have to be slightly longer. So that's going to be a bit of an issue. I might have to get rid of the smoker, actually. I'm never going to really need this. No, I can use the smoker because I got fish. So we'll leave it in here. That's fine. We can leave it. Now, this needs to be... What was it going to do? Oh, the toilets are down there. So the showers and toilets are taken care of. We need a place for them to eat, which should be directly across from the kitchen. Ooh, that's an ore haul. Or I could get somebody who could cook, research. What a dupe. Falls asleep once in a while, but you know what? Alright. We need to name this duplicate. Bubblegum is the first thing that comes to mind, but I don't really think that's a great name for it needs to be like a French name or something. If you're gonna be an artist who likes food, I mean, come on, right? It's gotta be. It's gotta be, you know, somebody. I don't know. I had somebody in mind, but I can't remember what the name is. It's really gonna irk me now. Give me a minute. We gotta look this up. I'm actually gonna take the time to do it here. What was her name? Give me a second here. I straight up cannot remember her name. This will work. Excuse me? What? There we go. I'm gonna make sure I spell this right. Okay. Juliet is what we're gonna call that person. And Juliet needs, like, you know, something fancy, right? She's gonna be an artist and whatnot. What even is that? Starched blazer? Wait a minute here. Let me see if I can find something that SpaceX bionic jammies. None of these are really, ooh, wow. That's a lot. Kind of like the whiteout business. Man, I made a bunch of these things. A lot of these are the pre-made ones, but that's the rat eater one. All right, well, hold on a minute. None of these are really doing it, so we gotta go to the supply closet and go to the wardrobe and make a new outfit, and we gotta see what we got going on in here for somebody who's gonna be a fancy art person. Like an artist. What am I thinking for an artist shirt, right? What about bottoms? Let's start there. Let's go with the polka dots. And the, do I have a shirt that matches the polka dots? Take it off. Whew, that is not the color I thought it was going to be. It's pretty bad. Pretty rough, actually. So let me, give me a second. I gotta get rid of that so I can make sure the stream's running. It is. So, the frilly is a little much. If I did a different color, it would kind of work. But I don't have that thing in a different color. I have it in this gray. That's not terrible. It's not the worst. We could just give her that straight up. We think that's a good idea. Okay. Followed by the footwear, the white, black. Or dress. Yeah, let's do the dress. Go to the gloves, black. Ooh, definitely not. White gloves for sure. But do I have fancy white gloves? Is the question. Do we have fancy? We got some fancy white gloves in here. No? Got those Regal ones, but that's a little much, I think. Hear me out. Okay, never mind. Bad call. We're going with this. And we're going to save this as a template. We're going to rename it to, we're just going to call it a classy dress. That's it. Classy dress. Back. Okay, now we got to go find her. Enjoy your classy dress. Wait, hold on. Can you turn around for a second? Maybe not. Hold on. Bro. Man, she's really giving me some great poses on that, isn't she? Alright, here, hold on. I gotta fix this. This is annoying. What happened to my food stuff? Oh, I was telling him to deconstruct that. Why was I doing that? Totally can't remember. There it is. Yeah, not bad. Isn't terrible. Like, I've seen worse. Alright, anyway, let's move on here. Probably should have played into the blue hair a little bit with a blue dress, but I don't have a blue dress, so for now that works. Anyway, I need to go tell her what she needs to do with her life. Give me a second here real quick. Juliet, you're an art person who could do tinkering as well. I need you to be... We're going to give you the Masterworks hat, but I kind of need you to, you know, be an operator. So what you're going to do is operate as your main job. But as a side hobby, you're going to decorate. That's what the plan is. So we can fly with that. Now, oh, also, sorry guys, you're going to hate this, but get that guy out of here. There. All that was a bunch of sweep commands. Now, we're gonna go grab these. I don't want to deal with the thing. I wasn't gonna do this, but I kind of have to. I'm gonna need a lot of power in that place anyway. I just need him to get rid of all this. Plumbing, we need to go get the pitcher pump. I was hoping I'd put it right there, but I can't. For now, I will just put it there. Okay, we definitely need to get fire poles. It's gonna save me so much time to have those fire poles right there. So they're gonna be doing that for a while. Literally this cycle of just running back and forth, so I'm not massively concerned by it. Then we just do this. And all that does is relocate all of the items out of that area and into the other one. But they gotta get rid of all of them. Okay. This person's kind of screwed. You wanna not die for me? I don't even know how you got up there, but whatever. I like watching this right here. Oh, wait a minute. Watch this. Okay, it was not nearly as dramatic as I thought it was gonna be. It is what it is. Why are these the ugly ones? What? There we go. Okay. Now, we got a couple, that's fine. Okay. So the kitchen's getting organized. I forget, this was an extra farming area. I'm just gonna put that in there so I don't forget that. Then, above that, we need to have them a place to eat. So food. Get the food, get the food, get the food, get the food. Where is the food gonna be? I need to have communal dining tables. But I don't know that I have those yet. I do, amazingly enough, and I have a ton of wood to make them with. I like a long communal dining place. At least 4 blocks tall. I actually think it only needs to be 3, but this gives me a storage hole, storage cubby. So we're gonna use these ones. In it goes. All standard priority 3 is what all those are going to be. Okay, then I need to get one item, which is going to be, I totally forget what menu this is in. Where's the shelf? There's the party phone line. I totally forgot. Got me 2 of those at least. Can I please have that menu? There we go. I hate when it loops the menus like that. There's a way I run the hotkeys for this game, and sometimes that happens. I do apologize. But it's a little bit of a problem, actually. I kind of need to get that fixed. So we're going to move all these over there. No. That's going to flood the whole base. Cancel these. I gotta be really careful about how I make that. I want to keep this water where it is. This is like my backup pod at the moment. I think I could squeeze that in there. Like if I let him get all the way over to about right there. Man, we'll go to there first. I think I can squeeze this in there to where it won't flood the whole base like that. And kind of the same thing from this side. Can I fit one more table in there? No. So then what we're going to do is grab the base, no, furniture, and a ton of display shelves. There you go. Because we have natural back walls back here, which is awesome, because now I can just hang stuff on it and not have to worry about it, like, a lot. You used to have to build a big strip of drywall down through there to get these to work. Okay, excuse me, you gotta go. Also, these aren't the comfy beds yet. They will eventually look like they fit this space better because the comfy bed will be in there, but we don't have plastic, so, you know, that's a bit of a problem. We're going to do it like that. This is never going to be a bedroom. Okay, well that base is looking pretty solid, if I do say so myself. We can put these in there. Ooh. Like that. And then just let the... My goodness! Who... Okay, look. I'm confused. Why are there no fish in here and now all the fish are up there when this thing is... Isn't it supposed to just detect what is underneath of this? Your boy is confused. We're gonna put it over there. We're gonna try that. Because whatever I just did clearly did not work. So let me get rid of this. And we're just gonna have to wrangle all of them, I think. Man, my man's gonna be busy on that one. So this is gonna be a priority 5 thing for any beacons. Any beacon. We'll make it a 6. This is a party 7. That man is gonna be busy. they're really just wrangling this fish. How much rope do they have? They have a definite rope. Okay, so we put them in there. There's a bacon. Right. And I think any of the ones that end up over there I can kill. Is what I'm trying to search for here. Because I want to make sure that we have like 10 of them in here all the time. Is what I'm getting at. And I can also make more of these finally. Which would be nice. Because, I mean, this is basically providing my entire base with oxygen. I mean, it's not the worst. Do I not have a CO2 scrubber, by the way? What have I been doing to get rid of CO2 this whole time? Just dumping it into a hole? Oh, that's a bit of a problem. So let me, let me just go here and take care of that real quick before I forget. I'm gonna put it there. And then just okay, clean water, please. I'm just gonna do that. And we know this is gonna be polluted water, so we just need to go up with it. Like that. Okay, as soon as that gets in there, I'm actually just gonna tell them to deconstruct it so I don't have to wait. Ice. Not bad there, but I don't really need another one. Well, actually, I do kind of need another one, don't I? Do I not have two of those guys? I mean, look. Do I not have two guys that can dig a big hole for me? I got one. I need a second one. Okay then, well, congratulations, buddy. You are gonna be called... What's that dude? Robinson. From Meet the Robinsons. I don't remember what the guy's first name is, but we're gonna call him Robinson. And this guy's gonna kind of live here, so... I'm trying to get all the way up here to the, the shiny ones. He kind of fits in that, doesn't he? Alright, we're gonna do that. There you go, pal. Your job is to dig really big holes and then build a little bit once you get done with that. Hopefully you can help me out with this, which you can. Great stuff. Off you go, pal. Get to work. Okay. Could you guys move these? I really don't understand what they're doing with these fish. I think I have to figure that one out. Because, like, they're just not taking them over there. Wait a minute. What? Oh. That's a problem. They updated how the pool system works to where it's the entire pool, not just that one room. Well, that's not ideal. I won't lie to you. That's not ideal in the slightest. How am I going to take care of that problem? Can I just separate it off? Like if I replaced all this bit right here, would that work? Would that be considered a separate pool? Or is that still the same pool? I have no idea how this works. Here's what we're gonna do in that case. We're gonna build that. We're gonna just tell them to deconstruct this. And we're gonna get rid of that. No, I went over there because that's where the ladder is. Decisions. Alright, so we're just gonna kind of... I can leave that in there if that's okay. That's cool with me. So I'm hoping that they build that stuff. Man, he is like super busy trying to get all that. Are they like generating water? Because where does water keep coming from? It must be from the dupes themselves and it just drains into there. That must be what's happening to it. Okay, that is supposed to get analyzed as soon as possible. They are still trying to do this. Oh, it's completely full. Never mind. Done. Off you guys go. Okay, we're gonna hard priority this too. Okay. They're almost there. It's gonna be a little bit painful for a little while, but it is what it is. The good news is they have not been just wasting the time. Okay, we're gonna set that to crude oil real quick. So somebody will get in there and start scooping all that bit up. And then we'll just tell them to sweep up the last bit of that. And that should be a completely cleared out room that I can not have to worry about. The dormancy is going to happen in 49 cycles. Holy rip, that is a really long dormancy. Dude, I'll have everything I need by that point, but at least this thing's done. Is that real? 49 cycles? Dude! It's active for 103 cycles out of every 172 cycles. Alright, whatever. Oh, I'm gonna go have to build a giant hydrogen tank. That's what's gonna happen there. Uh-oh. Well, that one's done like now. So... Oof. That's... Oof. Yeah, that's not ideal, pal. I won't lie. So... We're gonna have to pump everything out of there? Using a pump, because there's no way we actually get all that out of there. So let me just hook this up real quick. That followed by this mess. So then we'll have that in there, and I'm just gonna have to get a power wire down there, which it already is. So you know that power cable that I was upset about having to make? Well, guess what? It's getting made again, and I'm not fixing it. So off we go. Why did I build that one instead of just the airflow tile? Must have been habit from the other planet. Okay, get rid of these so that we don't have these ugly ladders hanging around in there. Was I going to move the kitchen up there? That's right. Food. So, never mind. It's stations apparently, not food. Not food. Just no. It is in here. Okay, we're gonna use that one. Spice grinder goes way over there. The smoker is actually going to be relatively close to the beginning of that thing. We don't have any space for anything else at the moment, so we're just gonna hook this up to right there, and it should dump it into space just fine. And then we can let them continue building on this. Also, ooh, that sucks. I don't know where this oil keeps coming from, but that is annoying. Get that out of here. We'll log on. Alright. Get that dude out of there. Set that to auto. Man, this is really gonna be a problem. These guys gotta get out of here. Okay, there we go. Problem solved. Build it. Well, there's nobody in there. Done. Now that can get scooped up. I just really need to get that guy out of there. If he doesn't get out of there in a relatively reasonable amount of time, I'm just gonna have to kill him. It is what it is. By the way, that was supposed to be a temporary placement, not really a permanent thing. I might have to move that later. But we'll figure out how it goes. No, that one's actually in a good spot. Never mind. I forgot that this had to remain the way it is. Oops. And get rid of that. Cool. Oxygen's doing alright. Somewhere we're getting some power. They must be running on power wheels a lot. So now we can just deconstruct those. And set that to 7. Problem solved. Now we go back to here. While they continue building on that. And check this out. Polluted water is not doing too hot, if I'm being completely honest with you. Man, they are slow on this planet. Fast in some ways, slow in others. Swampy delights. Cooked seafood. Smoked fish. Hot dog. So this is a priority 7 as compared to the other thing. We can't make the veggie poppers or the other bit yet. I could with the spend the grub fruit though, so we'll go ahead and let it do that recipe. The lice loaf is really what I'm after here. The Pegu treat, I'm good on it for now. I can't make any of the other things because I don't have any of the ingredients. Did they add any more of these? No, it's still the same spices. Okay. No tender brisket. So now we can take care of that. Cool. It's like they're so fast at mining all this out. Like, that guy's flying. Oh, oops. That was not my intention for that. I copied the wrong one. This is why I was worried about that, because I figured the oxalite would do that right there. Like it just showed up as. That's why I had to build this first. Now that that's in there, I think, as long as I'm quick about it, I can build this before that one causes me problems. So I'm going to go ahead and priority that one. We should be alright with it. The waterweed is still growing. We're going to get rid of those. That thing's just now ugly. I'll leave it. Maybe one of these days it'll get more water in there, but I really doubt it because of how base it's designed. Also, this is kind of a priority. I kind of need to see if this works. So, if you do that for me, that'd be cool. But, we can do that. I really hope this thin bit of water on top doesn't include, you know, the pool connection thing. Like, I don't know how that works. So if there's like a wee little bit of water connecting these two things, is that considered the same pool? Or does it have to be like a certain quantity? Because I don't know how all that works. Now, how are we doing on heat? Heat's actually pretty stable. So we're doing okay there in that regard. We got time in that regard, is what I'm trying to say. Ooh. Ooh. I'm actually going to read this one. Day 3. Updated guidelines for employees sheltering in place are attached. See highlights below. Emergency cots are not designed to be stacked. Coffee ration cards are non-transferable and cannot be sold. Please review the personal hygiene handout. Employees with functioning equipment should continue as normal while the flood restoration efforts continue. Thank you for your patience. Missing attachment. They never have attachments. Alright, pineapple bush we got. Operating. I'm not going to need another operator for a while. And that's not exactly a good one. So I would really like to get into these bionic duplicates, but can you imagine putting a bionic duplicate on a place that's completely full of water? Awful. Would never work. I need to put that dude on a planet where there's no water. So we're just going to have to grab these pineapple bushes for now. Now, we'll take care of that. That needs to be locked. Actually, leave it open. Leave it open for a second. Set this to priority 9. Set that to priority 1. Okay. Oh, the analysis is done on that? Never mind. One. In that case, it's going to take him a while, and I have stuff I need that guy to be doing, so I'm going to send this person, where they're at, and it's going to go directly back to the other planet. Now, you like my solution for them never cleaning a toilet, by the way? Just build like a ridiculous amount of them until I can get the toilets set up. Which reminds me, I need to go do that. The good news is hydrogen is now out of the base, period. Except for this little spot right here, which is kind of deliberate. But it's also annoying, so I'm just gonna do that. Okay. So, let me go back to here. How are we looking? Got it. I think it's going to erupt again here real soon. It's unfortunate that there's this much water down here. Looks like I can actually mop a decent amount of it. How's the temperature of this doing, by the way? Like, the stuff's at 20-something degrees, and by the time it gets over there, it's about 76, which is... room temperature is like 68 to 70 if you're not used to Fahrenheit. So, you know, it's not too bad. It's decent temperature by the time it gets over there. And like, you know, give you an idea, Green's pretty happy. This is a little warm, but I mean, that's a good zone right there, you know? I think it's actually going to be okay without a ridiculous amount of cooling, so I can kind of focus the cooling down here. Which, that's a rarity. On this planet, normally the whole base is scalding hot, like 24/7. But I think I've got enough cooling going on with just that system right there that it should work. Now, we'll see how that goes once I start pumping petroleum through this place, but, you know, that's a problem that I can cause by my own industrialization. Why are you starving? Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, wee. Ooh, that's a... That, ooh. Ooh. Yeah, ooh. Your boy won't lie, that's a problem. That is a problem. How am I gonna fix that? I could kill a lot of fish. We're gonna kill all those fish. Over there. All of them. They're all gonna die. Wow, this is a serious problem. Okay. Well, now we know the priority. Which is to get food. He's satisfied, so he's not dying. That's good. But he has no food in there that he can eat, which is interesting. I need overgrowth figs to keep that guy alive. That's a problem. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go copy this one's settings and put it onto that one. Then we go back here, copy this one's settings, and put it onto there, except for the fact that we're going to allow those. And that is why we're going to need a water thing right here. Somebody died. Didn't have enough food. Well, the cook died. That's a problem. Wow, how am I going to fix that? I've got an idea. They better be quick about it. There's enough food there that they shouldn't be dead. Did I just get that cook? I still don't know where I'm going to put the graveyard for these people. How about right there? I don't intend to have a terrible amount of these. So, we'll have a nice tasteful memorial here made out of granite. Yeah, granite. That's where we'll go. What about this planet? Because I've got somebody who died here like forever ago. Esmeralda is the only dupe that I've lost on this planet, which is interesting. Right here, this is going to be my cemetery made out of granite as well. I don't intend to have that many people, but, you know, space is reserved for later use then. Nobody's dead, so we're good there, but that's not going to last very long. We have got to figure out a way to get food. Period. So who's farming right now? Because that guy's got a double duty again. You my farmer? Yes. So you must cook. This is not going to be that struggle phase. That's going to be the problem with this. There's this struggle phase that happens like right in the middle of the game. It always happens. So I'm used to having to deal with it. I'm gonna finally get rid of those. That's nice. I think I'm actually gonna make this like a permanent crossing right there. See, that's the problem there. Is if I'm building the computer stuff, that video was not intended to do nearly as well as it did. I figured it would do just about the same as the rest of the videos on the channel do. And if I'm going to build computers on this channel, I'm going to have to get a lot of money off this channel. Because to be frankly honest with you, I can't just swing building a $1,000 computer all the time. So either I kind of start up a business of building computers and do stuff like that, or we do this for a while. The good news is I actually have a lot of a second computer already in the works for that, because I had a lot of leftover parts from the first build, so we'll have at least a couple more bits of that going on. But I'm in a bit of a pinch at the moment, so we'll have to figure that out. YouTube has also kind of screwed me at the moment because it was my own fault. but I set up the monetization incorrectly for the channel, so I had to go reset it up. But they have a 30-day reset period for if you mess that up, to where you can put like another monetization on the same channel, which is, in my opinion, completely obscene, but they have it. So that is what it is, and I'm kind of stuck in the lurch at the moment between being able to make the content that I actually need to make, which is very expensive, and I have to get that video monetized to even remotely make it worth it, or doing stuff right now to kind of fill the time. So I'm stuck. But that is what it is. But I understand where you're at with that, and I figure that a lot of people in the channel are in the same boat, to the point that I'm thinking about making a video specifically for that. To where, because a lot of people who got to this channel had no idea what this channel was actually about. Like, if you go back and look at it, I have over 900 something videos on this channel that are video game related, not computer building related. And then I make one computer building video and it blows up. And the reason for that is I have long thought that this channel would be a lot better off if I specifically made content that wasn't related to video games. If I put the same amount of effort that I do, not necessarily in this format, because this is a live stream, but if I put the same amount of effort that I was putting into video game related content into literally any other category, the channel would do way better than what it ever would have if I stayed with the video game content. And everybody called me out and said that that was a stupid idea, that I should never do that. But I did it once with the computer video, the thrift store PC video. And now look where we're at. So I've put myself in a predicament with that. And I don't really know how I'm going to work that out quite yet. So I need to have like a whole thing for that. But you know, I'm going to make an entire thing for that kind of content. But anyway, that's a problem for a video that I will make in the near future. What are these dudes doing? Hello. But anyway, I do want to point out that it's painfully obvious, if you look at the history of this channel, the direction it was going to go. And I made that one video as literally a last-ditch effort, just because it'd be fun. And I really didn't think this, like, I was straight up going to quit YouTube, if I'm being completely honest with you. I had no reason to continue this channel, like, at all. What in the world is this thing doing? Oh, this is the entry point. Okay. But I had no reason to continue the channel with the way that it was headed. And the reason I make this channel is because I enjoy making the content. It's not because I make money on it. Because I don't. Not until very recently. I haven't even had the opportunity to make money on it. And I'm still not making money on it because of the monetization issue. And even after the fact, I don't really know how well it would work out. So, I don't know. There's a lot to check out there. But I am just one dude. Like, I gotta run this whole channel by myself. That's how it works, so. I'm cracking stuff that is production quality, but at the same time is, I have to make all the content. And sometimes you just want to sit down and have a decent time, you know? It's like, that's what this side of it is. But you know what? I'll tell you what. Here's what we're going to do. Let me go check, you're going to like this. Give me a second. I gotta go to yo. Let's see if it's going to show up or not. Excuse me. Okay. Oops. Oh, for crying out loud. Let me in. There we go. Where's that? Okay, supposedly, now I don't know if this is going to happen or not due to Juneteenth. I don't know how the mail system works. But basically, today, there's supposed to be a stand show up for, basically, it is going to hold a racing sim setup that I've had for a while now, that I've been wanting to make content with. I'll build it on stream. Then we'll make a video about it. But I'll build it on stream, and we'll test it out. Play some Wreckfest 2. Play some SnowRunner, actually. I really want to play some SnowRunner with it. And we do it like that. Okay, by the way, I need you to turn off anything that is edible. These guys are straight up gonna die. So yeah, we'll build that on stream when it shows up. I'm looking forward to it anyway. Then when the channel finally gets remonetized and I'm not stuck in between the two things, I can release the whole video for it. And it'll be like a proper thing. Man, that guy really just ate that, didn't he? Now my question is whether or not, I can't make the promise of when that stream is going to happen. I'll do the stream, but I can't make a promise of when it's going to happen because I straight up, I don't know if it's going to show up today or not. Like, the shipping thing says it is, but, you know, maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't have any of those. I do need a cook. I know of a place I can put that cook. Decent cook. Alright, Cena. You're the first one I've ever had, so I'm gonna leave you as there. Just Cena it is. Cena's only care about 3 things. Gold accents, true crime, and the advancement of nuclear physics. Okay, cool. You're gonna be a cook, unfortunately, so... nuclear physics is not really gonna be in your wheelhouse. But we'll sort that out for you. I know I don't have any food, but I'm really hoping this guy can take care of that problem. Okay, so they'll take care of that. So I'm just thinking for a minute. That comment has me thinking. Which it would, you know. It's a weird situation to be in, if I'm being completely real with you. With the whole computer side of this channel that apparently now exists, and the actual gaming side of the channel that has been here for the entirety of it. Like, do I just bail the entire thing of what this channel has been for 7 years now, or something like that, just because one video did really well? I think not, but I don't know. Maybe it's a sign that I should actually bail it. So we got to 100. Really? I got super man, I wasn't even trying to do that. That's sick. That was really hard to get. Like, I got that once before this save, and I deliberately did it. I about died trying to do it. That's awesome. Wow. We've already read that one. So we just got into radiation. Where? Where? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how we got into it. Oh, that's how. There's a giant spire of radiation through my base now. Ooh, that's problematic. You know, I could see why a lot of streamers don't read the comments while they're streaming. I always thought that was weird. Like, why would you do that, you know? This way's long. This way's a little bit shorter. I'm gonna go that way. Why not? Because it really can just throw a whole wrench in your stream like that. Anyway, that needs to be this. We're gonna put this here. I don't know how many of these suits I'm gonna need for now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and build like a small thing for him. Now I gotta remember there is no meteor showers on this planet, right? There are no meteor showers. Yes, so I can build whatever I want up here and not have to worry about meteor showers, which is nice. That is actually really nice. So let me get rid of this. Is that the oxygen one? No, that is the trash one. So we will put it up here. There's but a few of those. I don't even need that. I totally forgot that this doesn't need to exist because there's no meteor showers. I just said that. Interesting. So whereas oxygen is not being produced anywhere with like a dedicated pipe yet. Right. Because we were trying to get rid of the hydrogen situation. Okay. That's fine. I can deal with that. Ooh, that is a problem. So we need to go in here and get the drywall going for space. I'm going to use these nautical diagonal stripes. So, and for some reason, I want them to be that way. Does the mesh tile lose stuff out the back of it? I can't tell. We'll see if it holds here in a little bit. I don't know that the mesh tile does lose stuff out the back. It looks like it would, but I don't know that it actually does. I should build these. Okay. Do I need this at the moment? Not really. We're not even gonna bother. There's no need to have that up there. Because I need to focus on getting this to run. They got food now, right? Yes, they do. Who just died? Why? That was like my original dude, too. what is in here? It's a nori? Oh man, I forgot that's a problem because I thought I had tons of food, but I didn't. I don't. Not at all. Alright, well listen. I need to sit here and think this through anyway. And I've got too much on my mind due to that one guy at the moment. I'm gonna bail this stream here, and when we come back, I will figure this problem out. Alright? Yeah. Alright. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. My name is Turtle Dude. Peace out.